All right, hello everybody. It is Pester Mike back here with Esper Control, finishing up the last two matches of a league with my co-host
Lillian?
Lillian.
Yeah.
Yes, and we
Oh,
are we're going to be seeing if we can finish this off. Right now, we have a solid 6-0-3-0, and I figured that I was going to mess it up, so I pulled Lily here so that she can try and influence me in a positive way, so that I don't completely choke and blow this gloriousness right here.
it was probably not the best idea considering how I'm mostly a combo player,
I mean,
but
it's a combo deck, right? Like Kaya's Guile and Esper Charm. It's basically Splinter Twin, right? Yeah?
no.
No? Okay. Well, worth a shot. Regardless, we are here seeing how we can do with some Esper today. Hopefully, as well as we did last time, where I believe we beat Tron. What did we beat before? Man, this was only 2 days ago, and somehow it's still really tough for me to remember. Tron and then two other meaningless decks that folded to our glorious deck that we had. So, obviously irrelevant. Obviously irrelevant. What do you think about this style of deck, Lily? I
Uh,
know it's not typically your go-to, but
I really like the idea of it. Like, making up opponents discard cards is always brings a special joy to my heart.
yeah.
So, being able to Esper charm someone in the draw step, just the idea of that sounds wonderful.
Yeah, I think of like the big brain meme, right? Where it's like thought seize like the tier one will be like thought seizing your opponent, and then it's like him to Turok your opponent, and then it's like Kolaghan's commanding their last card in their draw step, and then it's like Esper charming their last two cards in their draw step. Like, yeah, I totally agree. I think all of those things are really fun to do, but this one's like potentially the most annoying for other people to play against as well too, which sometimes that can bring some fun our way. Regardless, I guess we'll kind of see how things shake up for us here. I know we beat Tron before, but I still don't want to queue into Tron.
That's fair. Like, no one wants to queue into Tron.
Yeah, I love playing my blue Mopey decks. I don't love losing to Tron because I like playing my blue Mopey decks. Sorry for getting a little bit of lag here. My laptop seems to be making some interesting choices, is the nice way that I'll put that.
Unique life choices.
Ah, okay. So we will be back. All right, sorry about that. We did hop back in, and we were able to figure out Moto is just being fun. Moto loves to be fun. Anyway, here we are, our first hand. What are your thoughts, Lily?
Um, I think this end is very mediocre. Like, yeah, we have. We're going to play or draw.
We're on the play.
Yeah, we have Mana Leak on curve,
hmm
followed by Kaya's Guile into hopefully Jace if we draw another land.
hmm
But, okay, I guess.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were leading that into those reasons being good enough to keep. And I was just trying to clock purposes, not go too crazy.
Yeah,
So I'm sorry.
that's fair.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think it's fine. Looks like we're up against Storm, so I really like this hand if that's the case.
Same.
Yeah, I think that turn two leak on the play is actually pretty good in Modern right now. There's a lot of decks trying to place something on two that's pretty good. And I was also just going to point out that I think it's important that our mana is actually pretty decent. So because of those two reasons, I was kind of in for it. But yeah, you also just pointed out like curving out is pretty sweet. Silly opponent. You thought I was going to let you have it.
Uh, with a lot of Storm decks relying on Graveyard even more so, and combo decks in general,
hmm
this Kaya's Guile is going to be excellent.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was maybe even thinking like, well, what if we let that resolve and just guile it away? But I want to be able to eat a juicier graveyard for one, and for two, like I just think you should never mess around and like accidentally lose to Storm because you let something happen. Like that's always kind of scary. That's a bummer. Wouldn't mind picking up a Force Negation to feel a lot more comfortable tapping out for this Jace. That would be pretty sweet. Okay. So they don't have
Gifts.
yeah, thank you. Gifts ungiven. Drowned Catacombs, that's good. I guess what we really need to consider here is without gifts, do we think we feel comfortable tapping out for this Jace? My natural thought is just no, but I don't know how many great chances we're going to get for this. I think maybe, what if we just pass and we play into Archmage's Dorm draw 2 on instep to try to hit our 5th land drop and then potentially our 6th so we can have this mana leak up? What do you think?
I like that a lot better than just jamming Jace.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think in general it's best to never try to just like super jam. Because even if they can't like go off, this hand's gonna struggle to beat like 8 to 12 goblins anyway. So yeah, I think that's fair. Okay, so now we're gonna Archmage's Charm. They showed, or they did not represent gifts before, which makes me think they don't have it, but you never know. Top of the deck can always be hot, right? So we'll see. Ooh, that Force Negation is a sweet pickup. Missing our land drop is not, however. Okay. So now there's a decent chance that I think they just have like remands, right? Like they haven't done anything. I kind of just want to still go land go, even though we have this force. Because if they remand our Jace, all we have is a force to protect against whatever they could have. And if they have 2 remands, we probably die. What do you think? I think regardless, this land can come into play untapped.
Yeah, it's like we're either super dead or not.
Mm-hmm.
I do kind of like just slamming Jace as soon as possible, getting some sort of clock on, but I do see the point of, hey, if they have double remand, they ruin us. So
what if we plan to snap Archmage's Charm on end step?
Just draw 2?
Yeah, because if we hit our 2nd or our 6th land drop, we can hold up Mana Leak with this Jace and this Force, and then I'd feel a little better.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it still develops a clock.
Yeah, even if it's not great, like
yeah, 10 tons is still 10 tons.
Well, hey, 10 turns looks a lot better when you add 2 1/1s on top of it, right?
Yeah.
That could change that a lot. Esper Charms would actually be pretty sweet pickups here. Okay, so mana leaking this is not profitable at this point, and I kind of want to hold on to that for the reason we were talking about before.
I like letting this slide, letting them combo off a little bit, and then
guiling.
Guile when they after the gifts resolves. Okay, so they're just gonna pass.
So now we can just end step, eat this. I kind of want to just make a 1/1. Like their graveyard is just a sleight of hand at this point.
Yeah.
Although if we if we eat their graveyard too, if we just sack and eat graveyard, they can't gifts in response because it would be pretty useless, right? So maybe that's actually better. Although we have mana leak to cover gifts. I think I like the 1/1 actually because we have the leak.
Yeah.
So we'll go with that. And then if they want to gifts in response, we can leak that. No, they don't. Okay, so they still haven't found one, which is like pretty good news for us. Kind of a bummer. Oops, sorry, hit my wrong hotkey there. Kind of a that's kind of a punish. Now the question is, do we want to go for the Jace, try to find our land? And I think that's still going to have the same problem of running into remand pretty handedly, so I kind of want to just run back the same play here. What do you think?
I agree. Like, if we're too scared before, like, we should stick to our guns.
Sure. It's fine. Now, see. Okay, so they're just casting a bunch of cantrips. I feel like what they must have is just a bunch of rituals and remands. Or I mean, I guess they could have some number of payoffs, right? Too. They could have. Let's see what they did with their scries really quick. 2 cards on top. Ooh, don't like that. Sorry, as I was trying to say, they could just have some. I mean, now I'm sure they have some level of payoffs, but it also could just be that they topped like another bear, thinking, well, this might be good enough. But gifts is really their best tool here, so I'm kind of thinking that that's probably what was left on top. Let's draw some cards here. Oh my lord. Whew. Land.
So now we just have to shove
Yeah,
Jace.
we have double force too. Uh
And not
yeah.
black one in case we draw fatal push.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Remand gets us really good here, but 3 mana. Look at the top 6 cards. You get an instant or a sorcery. Okay.
Okay, baby dig.
Yeah. They found well, they scryed too, right? So this must have just been one of the cards that they scryed. That's interesting. Don't tell me. Oh my lord. Okay. I'm gonna put path. No, sorry. I'm gonna put because we won't have white mana. I'm gonna put verdict and then path, and we can always, if we need to, opt away the verdict if they don't go for the whatchamacallit line. You know what I'm trying to say? Sorry, I
Goblins.
forgot. Yes, thank you. Sorry. I'm just gonna ditch this other Jace. I don't think they have a way to deal with that. We'll see what they've got for us. I think that's fine, right? Because
Yeah.
it's basically just the same as it was before, and we have a path on top. Okay, this one I do want a mana leak, however. And then if they have more rituals, now we can force pitching this opt. They have quite a bit of storm, so if they just have a grape shot here, that's kind of scary. But my guess is this is just another another ritual. Although now that they're pausing, okay, Manamorphose. I think just snap, right? The Cryptic's just super good. Like, because we can, if we need to, we can always bounce this
Yeah.
with the chase. So, wow, look at that stack.
And it's like we're playing Legacy.
Who's the Storm player now? All right. So we have a Supreme Verdict on top that we don't really want. I guess we can offer up this trade because there's probably no way they go for that anyway. Having only one white mana kind of stinks here. But I think we can just go for this Brainstorm. Still have not been finding lands. Yikes. That push is good, though, at least. We don't have to use our white mana now.
So, like, verdict, path,
Yeah.
same order.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So we
And
can
then
push the goblin and still hold up snap and Kaya's Nile.
yeah, well, we can even snap this Kaya's Guile if we need to. Oh, that's what you meant. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Oh, sick. We're gonna get such good value. Just go for it. Just go for it. This, I think at this point, this is fine. Like,
yeah.
Last turn, I was a little scared because they had so many cards in hand. I didn't want them to be able to generate something too huge. Now that they don't have many cards in hand, I think we're fine with this because, like, even if they go for a Past in Flames here, we just probably blow them out.
You know, like whenever they cast Past in Flames, you just guile away the graveyard and they hopefully concede.
Yeah. Well, I guess knowing that they have gifts means they get to, like, gifts here. Okay. I don't like that, but I think we need to now take action here and probably sack, eat their yard, right?
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Do we walk into a... Oh, no. Never mind.
I guess we have the Supreme Verdict, though, right?
Yeah, we just need another white source.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We don't have another white source. Yikes. But we do have this Cryptic to be able to buy us some time with some things, so that's pretty important, I think. This Jace is probably going to kick it if it can't find the white source as the next card deeper, though. What do we got? Grape Shot, huh? Okay, so maybe the Jace is going to kick it right now. That's pretty bad for us now. Because we're probably locked into, like... How many of these are... Yeah, 4 of them. Smart. Because we're probably locked into something like tap draw.
Yeah. This
That's
is
not great. We could also just plan to snap Archmage's Charm, draw 2, or did we already use that?
we did.
We did, you're right. Okay, that's not great then. Um,
At least we get to snap Cryptic.
the following turn?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not looking great, but, it's also not looking super awful. White source. Okay, sweet. Now I feel pretty good. Oh, sorry. Do need to play blue mana. You're right. Wait, didn't I pay blue with the River? No, because the River of Tears. Okay, gotcha. Because I actually played a land. That's fine. That is fine. So this is going to be
A gifts
Gifts Ungiven.
Oh god, now we actually have to think about the gifts pile.
Yeah. Keeping in mind that we do get to snap Kaya's Guile next turn. So, and right now all they have is Empty and Grape Shot. So we probably just bin the mana.
Yeah. Like it's probably ritual. Yeah. Metamorphosis
Yeah,
Pit.
so 2 cards into their graveyard. So if we just put Ritual in their graveyard, they get to Manamorphose, Piff, but then they have no floating.
Yeah. And they might have another ritual in hand, but
Okay. So now if they rip another Ritual, we could potentially die, actually.
yeah.
Oh, snap.
No, we have push in our yard.
Oh, you're right. So we need to do this now.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, that was almost a huge miss. We should have done that the first time around, though. We should not have let that
Yeah.
resolve. We just gave them another mana. That stinks. Is that going to make a difference? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're going to go up to 6. That does let them, and their last card's Past in Flames. So it lets them cast Past in Flames
Yeah,
and then
no, they
basically do it all.
yeah.
Had another Manamorphose, huh? And then land Past in
Yeah,
Flames.
this
Wait, what?
is
Oh no, the Past in Flames. Oh no, they did cast it. Okay.
yeah.
So is this deterministic here?
Yeah.
And they found the land actually, so our mistake, although it stinks, actually was irrelevant. Because since they found the land, they had the 1 extra mana, and really we only shorted them 1 anyway. And as you can see here, they're about to kill us with 1 floating mana. So this will be 13 or 12, and then they've got what, 13, 14. I guess maybe they can't kill us this turn, but they make almost infinite goblins, right?
Yeah. They'll be able to do both. Put
Yeah.
like 26 goblins and hit us for 14.
hmm And then we're
So
just trying to rip the second. Oh, they have a
okay,
they have a
so
spell in hand.
yeah.
All right, we are actually dead then. That's a bummer. Kind of just got there, but after sideboarding, I think this is going to help quite a bit. We get access to more graveyard annihilation. Essentially, we get access to Mystical Dispute as another counterspell. Dovin's Veto, Thoughtseize to Fairy. We could have access to Aether Gust, but I guess we'll just kind of see in the main what we want and what we don't want, and kind of take it from there. So, what are your thoughts, Lily, when we're looking at boarding out cards?
my first thought is the big Teferi,
hmm
because that just seems way too clunky, along with the 1 of path.
hmm Yeah, I also think it's very reasonable to cut a Cryptic here for basically the same reason. Like, it just seems pretty
Yeah.
rough. And then I also kind of want to trim on 1 Supreme Verdict. I think while they can get us with the Empty the Warrens plan, I think having access to just more counter magic to slow them down is really good, and still having at least 1 is fine. We also get access to something like Thoughtseize, so I think that's helpful for us too. Um,
Something that I don't necessarily agree with coming in is the small Teferi,
okay.
because outside of Remand, they aren't interacting with us on our turn.
hmm
Wait, never mind. Gibson given.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking also this makes our counterspells hard counterspells, right?
Yeah.
So every time we cast a counterspell, we know it resolves, and I think that that's pretty nice. But yeah, that as well too. I kind of want this click or this mentor as like an additional either instant speed clock or basically just end the game on the spot clock. What are your thoughts on those cards?
Uh, when are we cutting for them though?
Um,
Like that's the big question.
yeah, I'm kind of thinking that we could potentially trim or cut the Esper charms.
Yeah.
I think that while making them discard two can be good, I really don't want to be doing something like make them discard two and they in response just like gifts ungiven, and then all their cards hit the yard, including the Past in Flames. You know what I mean? Like that could potentially be a little bit scary. So I kind of like something like this.
Okay.
If we look at our curve here, we've got a ton of threes, but they're all pretty impactful, and some of them are free casts. So yeah, I'm in for it. I think that's fine. The Spell Snare is awesome in this matchup. They have a billion two drops. Kaya's Guile and nothing else. That's not gonna cut it. Two lands, Veto, Charm, Snap, Push, and Guile. I think that's pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Um, we'll keep.
Um,
What do you think we've been here? I'm
my
kind of.
first thought is the Guile.
My first thought was the Charm, actually. I think there's an argument for both of them. I think it's one of the three drops for sure. The argument for binning Guile is that it being black, white, and only interacting with the creatures, and we already have push. I think the argument for Archmage's Charm is that it's a 3 mana counterspell against probable mystical disputes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess if we
Like,
bin Guile, we get to draw two off this.
yeah, I like the Gaia's Kyle does not have as much flexibility in this matchup as it would in others, whereas
Mhm.
Archmage's Charm is a draw two or counterspell.
Sure. Yeah, no, I totally buy that. Regardless, we're going to have to hit a third land for either of them to matter. But, I mean, I think that's part of the game plan anyway, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
look.
we made the right choice.
There's also something to be said about we do have four Guiles in, right?
Oh
So, like,
yeah.
I think that's pretty reasonable. And we can just let a little bear resolve here. That's fine. Brawl's just going to take a little tumble. Oops. And land. Land. Land.
Yeah.
Sick. Always had it. Always had it. Sleight of hand's fine. I really dislike going against the cantrips in Modern Storm. In Legacy, there's always like, oh, do you hit the cantrip? Blah blah. Like, you know what I mean? That sort of
It's
argument.
no.
Yeah.
The answer is
Yes.
always no.
But I think even here it's even worse. Do we just want to draw two? They shock this in. I don't care if they remand this.
Yeah.
Okay. The real question is, what do we grab as our land? We already have double white if we need it. So I kind of want to just grab a Watery Grave.
Yeah. Like, make sure to be able to cast all of our spells.
Yeah. Cool. Now we have all the mana. Cool. This opt is pretty good because we can potentially, um, depending on what it is they do here, we could go for like opt snapped opt on their end step to put something into play. Um, wow, going off. So they topped on both of those. That's kind of a bummer, actually. Had some good cards. Ooh, Spire Bluff Canal. Got him. We got him. Oh, no, thank you.
Oh god.
Yeah, I guess we'll just... Oops. We'll just get that one out of here. That card's very scary. And then, just in case we hit another opt off of this opt, we're going to filter through this. Fifth land means we can snap Archmage's Charm, right?
Yeah.
So keep and pass. Okay.
Well,
Feel a little silly, but that's fine. This is a spot where Big Teferi would have been really sweet. Obviously, they could have done something that would have like potentially killed us, but Big Teferi would have been super cool. Don't shock. Okay, cool. So now I'm gonna go for this Snap Archmage's Charm, because I want to get something into play. Filter for blue. Blue, blue. I would like to draw 2 cards. Thank you. Another Snap is actually great. I'm going to play this land as opposed to the Godless Shrine because I would prefer to not take more damage if we can avoid it to mitigate something like, 6 goblins, potentially.
Yeah.
And I want to have my 6th land for this full-moded Guile, potentially, which could be cool. If we get to a point where
I
that's
forgot
relevant.
Guile had Entwine.
It
It
does.
wasn't just another.
Okay. So I'm gonna opt here and no. So if I opt, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana left, which means we can still snap veto. We could snap veto and then still keep up 2 mana. I'm gonna opt here just in case I find a spell snare. Mana leak. That one's probably good enough too, right?
Yeah.
So we'll keep that one. And then if we mana leak, we cannot snap opt, or we cannot snap veto. So, but if we mana leak, we could snap push this in response to something.
Mm-hmm.
So I do actually like mana leaking, and if they just pay for it. No, never mind. We have
No.
Guile in hand. We have Guile in hand.
Yeah.
What am I thinking? I'm sorry. I forget that this is a removal spell. Let's see what they want to do with this. Sorry, that would have been a pretty not great line. About 4 mana with a Brawl in play? What 5 mana spell? Is it like a X spell of some kind? Or like a finale or something like that? Do they play that in Storm? The like, red X thing?
I don't know. It's
Could be, I guess.
okay. Just taking
So
forever.
here I'm just going to kill and eat their yard, I think.
Yeah.
And then we still have mana leak up. Yeah. Let's make blue white out of this. Filter that into blue black out of this. And then sack a creature, eat the cards out of your yard. Do we go for mana leak here? If we mana leak here and they don't have Reman, we probably win the game.
Yeah.
And this feels like they could just be setting up for Empty the Warrens, and mana leaking can shut that down. Okay. If they do have Reman, okay, cool. I was gonna say if they do have Reman, we're in for a world of hurt, but I don't know how much play we have with that.
This still sets up empty mana.
Yeah.
So we have 3 turns to draw the one of Verdict.
That's a pretty poor draw. So we can play this tapped. We can pass and just full mode this Guile, I guess. Make them sack, gain 4, make a 1/1 trade, and then hope that that's enough. This does feel a little interesting. I know most of the lists were on like 0 empties in the main, and then a lot of them were on like 1 in the board. I wonder if that's shifted now recently, and if they feel a little more confident to play like multiple of these in the 75. I can't say I'm super in with whatever is the hottest thing in Storm right now. Okay, so we're back up to 18. Can trade both of these off. Take 11. And then next turn we can still live with Snap Guile again. That's not what we're looking for.
You can at least entwine Guile now.
Yeah, Snap and Twine the Guile. Yeah, you're right.
And that gets another 3 goblins off.
I think I'm gonna do it on their upkeep because they didn't have a remand there, but if they draw a remand, we now don't have force backup, which means we would just die.
Yeah.
Oh, are they gonna gifts too? Okay, that's sweet. So we let that resolve, and then actually we just do it now.
Yeah.
I wonder what they're gonna grab. I bet their pile includes like Aria Flame here, just to like try to lock it down, or Grape Shot actually. Okay.
I'd say we've been to Grape Shot Pass in Flames. Because that removes a win condition and along with a Pass in Flames so they can't generate as much value.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair. I can buy that. Target our Guile. Okay. Cast our Guile. Bam, everybody. So we know this one's gone and that one's gone. They now have Remand, Pyretic Ritual, and X. We are falling to 8, which now means that a Guile does not get us out of this, which is kind of a bummer. But, you know, it is what it is, I guess. Find our one of? Yes? Maybe? Okay. Don't find a Grape Shot. Grape Shot kills us. Oh, Mystical Dispute. Okay, well now it has to be Verdict? Huh.
Well, that's shock. The only other way to go out.
Can't even shock. That's a bummer. Well, that's a pretty disappointing loss. I think that most of the time I would assume that the counterspell deck with a bunch of graveyard hate in its main is typically favored in a matchup like that. But I mean, they didn't really get to full combo us. They just halfway killed us with a billion goblins. So
yeah, I mean that's pretty much full combo. But
I suppose yeah, I definitely wasn't thinking of empty the warrens out of the main, and maybe if lists are looking like that's pretty typical, then that's something to consider. But like I said, not super in tune with what is hip or what is up in regards to the current Storm decks. It's just not really my thing. That's more you, Lily. So we're gonna credit you with that loss because
okay.
Combo player over here should obviously know what the what's up for the combo decks are. So
when I said combo player, I meant legacy combo.
Sure. And combos that involve 6-drop green creatures.
Sure.
Is that your jam?
I mean, I played a lot of Tess and Dredge.
That's
like
true.
The last time I touched Legacy, so
that is true. I do typically think of you as
the
Dredge.
Graveyard.
Yeah. The reason why Kaya's Guile is so good in this format right now. Yeah. That is in fact you. How do you feel about Dredge in Modern currently?
I think it's powerful. Like, Dredge will never be the best deck in the format, because if it is, cards like Kaya's Guile, Rest in Peace, Leon the Void, Relic, all just come out of the woodworks and everyone plays 4 of them for whatever reason. And it will also never be the worst deck in the format, because it can sometimes put 12 power on turn 2 and tell your opponent good luck.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
So
I mean, I guess it could potentially be the worst deck for like a week if everyone does bring 4 of those sideboard cards, right?
Like a weekend, it might have a 0% win rate, but
yeah, I'm sure all the Dredge aficionados were probably not super happy when people decided that main decking 3 Leyline of the Void against Hogak was the way to go. That must have been a problem.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, I can't imagine that being exactly what you're dreaming of when you You know, when you're goldfishing your life from the loams on turn 2 and just crying.
Yeah.
All right. Opening hand here. Unknown, no information. We start on turn 3 on the draw. What I like is our mana's perfect, and we have a Supreme Verdict if they are playing creatures. What I don't like is this Snapcaster currently does nothing. What are your thoughts?
I just don't know how to evaluate this hand. There's no kill spell. There's no way to make them dead.
Well, we don't really make
but
them dead, Lily. uh, yeah.
But yeah, like you said, our mana is perfect. Like we can cast Archmage's Shaman Curve and hopefully follow that up with a Cryptic or Verdict on Curve.
Play a creature. Okay. Now I'm scared. What'd they name? White. Okay, I'm way less scared.
Okay.
I was worried for a second that we were gonna get like Blood Mooned and then cry. If this is Heliod, I love this hand. This is Heliod. Sick. All right.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh yeah, this deck has Jason Teferi. Okay.
Yep.
We can deal with Infinite Life.
Yes. Infinite Life is basically just not even a problem for us. I would love to draw Mana Leak. No. I will play this though. I would love if our hand had one or 2 mana piece of interaction just so we could slow down what's happening. Because what I don't want to run into is if they just generate a bunch of mana and then we have to verdict away a board and they still have this ballista in hand, that could get pretty sketchy. Hopefully that will not, come back to bite us here. Maybe they'll just pass and play into end step company and we just get to tag it with a charm. No? Ooh. Okay, yep.
When I first saw the Spike Beater combo, it was like actual magic. It's like, holy shit, this is so cool. With was it Archangel of Boom?
Yeah.
And now it's just like, oh god, it's this thing again.
Yeah, I think it's different for everyone as far as like, what they think is super good. When they think of like the moment when it became magic for me or something. So here's what I hope is going to happen. They're going to go to combat. We're going to take 5. And then they go, well, I'm just going to gain infinite life, sack my ranger captain, because in response, we can Kaya's Guile them to eat away this spike feeder, and that would be sweet. Bad news is if they just pass and have company, because company into infinite life is scary. Just play. Okay, that's fine. So now they only have 3 mana. So on end step up, I am going to Guile them. I'm just going to gain 4 as well, too. I think that's fine. I don't think the 1/1's going to do anything here. Like, it would chump once and gain a maximum of 3. Oh, opponent, don't do this. Oh, no, they're going to... Wait, what? Oh, sure. Yeah, that's fine. I thought for a second they were going to lose out on everything, and that was going to be pretty awesome for us. This is kind of what I was talking about earlier, where not being able to deal with this ranger captain, now they're getting pretty close to where they can just, like, sack this, play out combo pieces. And I don't love that. So we're probably pretty close to having to verdict here.
So
let's see what they do.
Here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
At what point, like assuming this is even a valid thing,
Mm-hmm.
at what point do we say in your combat step, cryptic command, draw, pick up the forest with Utopia Sprawl in it?
We could.
Like, at what point does that become reasonable, though?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't think we're there quite yet. Especially because we were able to rip into this. So that obviously changes things pretty dramatically. But yeah, I get what you're saying. To just like cut them off. I actually had it's fine. So I guess this probably means they drew company, or maybe they're just sacking it just because. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, good play patterns.
Yeah, I played against goblins, I think it was, and This is fine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I got to Esper charm them in their combat to make them discard their last 2 cards, and it was like 2 ringleaders or something sweet.
Oh.
Yeah. Um, here, I think I just want to draw 2 again. And this time I'm going to leave the white mana up because we do play 1 path. Okay, that's a bummer. I guess maybe we should have done that in response. We could have spell snared that, but oh well. And here we can Snapcaster, target the Guile, and then go to blocks. Trade this off. Oh no, because they have Pendlehaven, huh? So we
Yeah.
can't even do that. Never mind. Let's see what they do. They are going to get in. Yeah, that makes sense. They do have snap protection. Got a lot of cards in hand. Lots and lots of cards. This one's fine, right? Yeah, that one's fine.
Yeah.
I just sometimes I have to like think about this gaining life meaning something else, but without a Heliod in play, I think this is acceptable. Go ahead and fetch end step. We have another fetch anyway. Grab ourselves a Watery Grave tapped. We are down to 9. Do we want to snap Kaya's Guile, make them sack, and gain 4? I kind of like that, actually.
Okay.
I just think like we have a lot going on, and yes, they could potentially resolve a company here, but if they do,
We can just verdict on our turn.
exactly. Yeah, I like that. Then we just get to verdict. Oops. Sack a creature, gain 4. This would be an even sweeter play if we had force to then counter the the cryptic. Okay. Well, now we that's actually a misplay on their part, I feel like, because now we actually get to trade with this Snapcaster because Pendlehaven can no longer target it.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's actually kind of funny. So we're just gonna pass, not attack, and hopefully get to do that because that'd be pretty sweet. Okay, this one cannot resolve. Yeah, we can just draw a card. Cool, cool, cool. I'm gonna fetch first, I guess.
That's off.
Yeah, fetch before opting, just so that way.
I get that marginal plus side of not hitting the land that we hit anyway. That we hit anyway.
Yeah, that was not great. I mean, this is fine. They only have 1 more mana, and we're definitely not afraid of this combo right now. Because even if they try to if they tried to play this out, gain a life, put a counter on it, we still get to do some pretty sweet stuff. Yeah, this is all fine. And now we get to potentially just counter this next spell and bounce this as well too if we feel like we need to. Yeah, it seems fine. I was debating if we wanted to just verdict this away so they don't get to do this with less mana up, but I think in a game 2 I would like that where they have like access to Veils. When they don't have access to Veil, this is just a hard counter spell, so I feel a lot more safe about that. And now each creature that they get to resolve does mean an extra counter on something, so that's kind of what I was talking about earlier about being aware of what certain things could mean. Oh, that's a lot of it's a lot of canopy lands. That's fine because they don't have the ballista in play. And this is still something we can wrath away. That one we can yield to. Putting a counter on something's fine. I'm just going to chump because I'm just going to plan to verdict things away anyway. They're probably not going to cast anything else, and that's fine. I'm fine with trading verdict with these 2 cards at this point. That's a pretty good draw. So let's make white out of this blue, and then black and colorless. Sure. Oh, that doesn't cast verdict. Sorry. These filter lands, they're getting me. I guess this taps us down to only one white, although that probably doesn't matter.
Oh, sure, it's fine.
Yep. That's okay. And I would just absolutely love. Okay, so we're gonna spell snare that because they cast it on one when they definitely should not have. I was gonna say I would have loved to
Oh,
have drawn Esper Charms throughout here. That would have been sweet, but sorry, what were you gonna say?
so I don't. Right, never mind. Never mind. We didn't have enough mana.
For what?
Cryptic Command counter pick up Helion, so we can counter it on its way back down.
Oh, sure, yeah. I'll just take the one here. I think that's fine.
The
Take the
two.
two. Yeah, sure. That's still fine. Give it lifelink. Okay, now it's less fine. We'll just snap. Can we full mode the Kai's-Guile? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we can do that. Wait, I thought we had a Guile in here. We do not have a Guile in here.
Is it exiled?
Yeah, we already did it, I guess.
Okay. So push.
Yeah, I guess that's fine. I was debating if we wanted to Archmage's Charm and just take control of it, because that's also a pretty fine play to make there, but yeah. Just take it off the table. And now we're just looking for a way to close out. Like a Jace or a Teferi, either one really puts us in a spot where we kind of can't lose. At this point, we're already in a really solid spot, but there are draws they could have that like run together that could be scary. I don't care about that one. It means that they can gain 2 life when it trades with the snap, and that's really basically irrelevant. Mana Leak's a pretty poor draw there. Don't love that. Not at this stage in the game, that's for sure. Okay, so they're out. See if they want to trade. Probably not, because they get to... Also, pretty poor draw. Not trading means that they get to hold this to try to go for the infinite life equals infinite damage combo. Yeah, that one right there. Good lord. Now I'm going to go for counter bounce. Excuse me, because we can logic not this Helion on the way back down for like x equals infinity. Just go ahead and grab another island here. Logic not. What is that? 4, 1, 2, 3, right? I'm not missing anything.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to eat a land just in case. It doesn't matter, and I just don't want to, this resolving could, would actually probably mean we lose the game. Now we're protected against Collected Company, which I like. But obviously these draws have been pretty horrendous, so if they just rip together like a huge walking ballista, that's kind of scary. Okay.
Yeah.
So now these things just get to be huge. Wow. Okay. Guess we could have mana leak that just to like make them get one less counter. I think I'm gonna leave this here because these are gonna be bigger next turn. Although we probably just die regardless next turn. Maybe not.
Got
Push is good enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Push lets us do this right now. Then they move a counter onto the spike feeder itself. This goes up to a 5/5, right? Oh, no? They don't want to do that?
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, that's okay. Now I'm kind of sad I didn't jump because we'd have one more life, but that's fine. Esper Charms, we haven't found any. Those would all be great. Another Kai's-Guile would be great. Oh my lord. Uh, okay. This doesn't really mean infinite life or anything, but it is really scary. I'm just gonna mana leak this. I don't know that it's providing any value, but whatever at this point. I don't think it really matters. That's pretty scary. Like I said, they could have rips off the top that are all pretty horrifying, and they did in fact have that. Once again, I'm not going to block for the same reason as last turn. I just want to keep this around because this is assuredly getting bigger this time. I don't like that. Kaya's Guile, Esper Charm. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. What lands do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We've got 13, 14, 15, 16. We've gone through 17 of our 25 lands, which means that we have 8 left in the deck. And the only reason I'm counting that, and it's not for salt, is just to be aware of fetchables that we have left, as well as chances for us to be drawing anything in specific. Come on. Come on. Give me something. Okay.
That's a stunt.
As much as I would absolutely love to brainstorm to find something here, I feel like we need to just take the safe route of not die this turn.
Yeah.
Because we have company on lock with these 2 force negations, which could potentially be their last card that they're holding on to, I think that makes sense. And now we'll see if they found a force or a cryptic. Nope, they did not. Cool. So this is going to resolve. On a land. Okay, and then this turn we can brainstorm because we are not dead to that. Oh,
Holy
my
hell.
Lanta. Okay.
That's a 2/2, yeah?
It is a 2/2.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so I believe that's just the Godless Shrine was our last fetchable. So.
Yeah, that's. Whew. No, I think we have one more Watery Grave too, right?
There's 3 in the deck total?
There's 2 Watery Graves.
Okay.
But we have 1 in play.
Oh, yeah. I.
Okay. We might just have to run back the Jace bounce this time.
It's killing the Jace.
Oh. Okay, that's actually kind of fine, I think. Like, that's a bummer because it gets to trade off here, but like we're fetching to a fresh top deck and this is not lethal, and for some reason they didn't give this lifelink. What? And they had that? I'm okay. That's confusing to me.
Okay.
Now they have lethal on the board, I guess, is kind of their idea. Whatever, let's just get this fetch out of the way. Yeah, see, so we have 1 Goblet Shrine left. Alright. Come on. Snapcaster? Mana Leak. Wow. That was pretty brutal. We got down to 20 cards. We didn't see any Esper Charms. We only saw 1 Guile. I think we saw, let's see, 1 or 2 snaps. I think we saw 2 snaps.
Yeah.
All right, so here are the cards that I like in this matchup. Bam, bam, and bam. From when I've been playing this, playtesting against another buddy of ours, what I really like about Teferi is having a way to bounce. Heliod can be really nice with all the counter spells, as well as, you know, just taking out all their Veil of Summers, basically, because they bring in 3 or 4. And that card's just really good. Mentor is really awesome because they almost always take out their paths and only leave in a couple Skyclaves. And if they even have paths main. And this is just another threat that just runs away with the game. Yeah, maybe we don't want this other verdict, though. I haven't been playing this with 3 verdicts. Don't like these. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are you've played the matchup a lot more than I have. Also, I don't like Spell Snap.
See, they have a lot of 2s, but I guess they're not super impactful, huh?
Yeah.
So yeah, I could buy
we
that.
got lucky with that Walking Ballista. And the only other 2 is Conclave Mentor, right?
And Auriok Champion.
Yeah.
And if they play Eladamri's Call, but most lists are not playing that anymore. Yeah, what I've been doing is I've been trimming on some of these counter spells in the face of Veil of Summer. And just trying to, like, not play into that super hard. The forces, while they're good at countering Veil of Summers, are awful if they're not countering the Veil and we get them veiled. Like, if we 2-for-1 ourselves, and out of that, they get to draw a card, so it's like
a
2 for 0, like, it's just never going to happen. And then I haven't been impressed with Gust. I found that sometimes they trim a copy of Company, and just because being super clunky can make that a little awkward. And yeah, I just am not a huge fan. So something close to this is what I've been doing. But when I was playing before, I also had one eliminate in the main, which was kind of nice. So all right, we'll see what our hand looks like. One lander with an opt.
No.
Yeah, if this had everything we wanted, I would maybe try to squeeze Lillian to believe me that this was good, but it just doesn't. This hand's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
We can just put back. I think actually it's just the River of Tears, even though it
Yeah.
looks the coolest.
Yeah.
You can just lead on island and see what they're up to. And we can opt, and then Archmage's Charm. Man, we just get to draw all the cards. It's gonna be sweet. They kept 7, which is kind of scary because we don't have any removal spells, but it's really sad that Esper Charm has a mode that technically interacts with Heliod when it says destroy target enchantment,
But it says destroy.
but it does say destroy. Oh, would you look at that? I'm going to keep this. I think the card's pretty good in this matchup, and even though we don't have white, we have like a bunch of ways to find it. And there are going to be games where nuking this Utopia Sprawl like super matters. I'll play this tapped. Just pass the turn to them. They're pretty likely to play a 3-drop anyway, so we like yeah, just gonna do this now. Cool.
Well, excellent.
Yep. We'll do this now. Go ahead and pass. I don't really want to path this right now. I just don't want to put them up to 4 mana. But I will path this on end step, I think. Or do you think we want to just draw 2? What are your thoughts, Lily?
I think we draw 2. Like, draw 2 now because it's the most mana intensive. Path is just a mana.
Yeah, we get to kill that now, I guess.
Yeah.
If they have Veil of Summer, we just die, though.
Yeah, like, we die either way. If it's counting this all. So I think we fetch Godless Shrine with Blood Strand.
So I
First
think
and foremost.
yeah. Well, so here's the awkward part. I want to. So what we can do is we can fetch, and then we can Archmage's Charm this, and then if they have a Veil, we can hope to try to draw up to lands to then kill this with Esper Charm.
Yeah.
The problem is if we fetch Godless Shrine, we can't cast Archmage's Charm.
Yeah.
So that's what's awkward here. I mean, we might just be in like Veil equals we lose territory at this point, but that just kind of stinks, you know?
Yeah, like that's what I'm thinking.
All right. Let's just grab this because we do have other Esper Charms too. So maybe there's an out that we could have to doing that. Plus, grabbing this means that we can still interact with them if they do land this, or if they do have Veil for this. Oh, they have the Veil. That stinks. Dang it. Well, that's pretty good. But now, like I said, at least we have the path so we can maybe interact. This Drowned Catacombs does mean that we now have 2 mana, and then this Swamp getting us up to a 3rd mana is actually, like, not irrelevant. And this is a situation where either one of those filter lands would be, like, a sweet top deck, because we could Archmage's Charm. That being said, whenever my opponent Veils me, it always just means they have another Veil. That's just how it feels, so... do we want to just path here? I kind of like using our white mana while we have it.
Yeah.
What do we hit? I guess just the Ranger Captain so they can't try to go for this combo.
Yeah, like because we have the blue mana representing some sort of counterspell.
Although I think they probably don't. It's a good draw. They probably don't have another Veil because they would have tapped this Plains instead of this Forest because they played this after they cast their spell. So they didn't have Veil mana up. So my thought is that they don't actually have Veil of Summer now. Which would be kind of cool. If we can find a way to get this off the battlefield, that'd be pretty sweet. That might be kind of tough. What? Is this Amiria's call? Oh, they're just like ballistaing super hard. Okay, so now if they, this makes me think they did find the veil, and now they're leaving this up, and we're just like
We just
actually dead.
Oh,
whoa! They didn't have it. That's cool. Esper Charm. Nope. Okay.
I mean, we can
Snap.
snap half.
Yeah.
See, fetching Goblet Run was right.
It definitely was correct. I just think that it was, if our mana had been better, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we could have made that play, that would have been a better play to make. But
I don't think our mana could have possibly been better.
Well, a filter land, right?
Yeah. Like, given this stage of the game in a 3-color deck.
Sure. Yeah. No. Okay. That's totally fair. Like the spot that we were at, we probably wouldn't have been playing those lands out yet. And yeah, I buy that. Okay. Cool. Probably means they just like have another Skyclave. Stinks that we didn't have another blue. I actually would love to snap Opt here, but you know, it is what it is. Love the leading up triple green. Just to represent like I've got 3 Veil of Summers. Alright, and I'm tagging this one because I don't care if they make this a 3/3. We're gonna have to chump.
Yeah.
Anyway, and at this point, like infinite life is kind of scary. Okay, now we're 1 mana away from being able to land a Tef. / 1 blue away from casting this Archmage's Charm.
We only played a 1 swamp, right?
Correct. We also need to find blue mana for this charm anyway, so
yeah.
Chump block. Because the reason I'm going to chump block here is because we have this flooded strand or this polluted delta, and it's okay. We're probably just dead. If they just go for like a ballista on 1, we're basically just dead.
Noble Hierarch.
Oh, so they must have their other ballista in hand. That's what that tells me.
Yeah, they're just gonna make as much mana as possible for next turn.
Okay. That keeps us alive. And we don't have to crack this yet still, which is good. Right?
Does it though?
Well, we make them sack and gain 4, right?
Yeah.
I think it does, right? Because they sacrifice probably just the noble. We gain 4, take 6. Or we can make a 1/1 and gain 4 and hope to find a verdict. I think I like sack gain 4. Oh, I clicked make a 1/1. It's not what I meant to click. Well,
I mean, game 3 is.
I guess it's
good enough.
It's really gonna play out basically the same way. The difference between 5 and 4 here, I guess actually, the difference here is this fetch land putting us down to 3 instead of 4 does matter. Although it looks like this is just their ballista. Yeah. So, like I said before, going for the gusto. Well, this was really sad. Bummer. See if we would have found anything that mattered anyway. Ah, Moto didn't want to tell us. All right, picked up the 3/2. That's totally fine. A little disappointing after the 3-0-6-0, but I feel like we ran a little below average, and our opponents ran pretty hot. And you know,
like the Stone player played the outs, and us drawing like what was that 19 of the 25 or 18 of the 25 lands game 1.
Well, after we brainstormed, we found 20 plus of them. Right? Yeah.
So that was all rough, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
What are your thoughts on the deck in general? Here, I'll pull it back up for us.
It seems sweet.
Oops. Said I'll pull it back up for us.
Like, it's not something that I would register and take to an event,
Hmm.
but like it's not surprising that it topped like three times in a row,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
and
sorry. I'm
like
sorry.
it looks really solid. Like I like the look of it,
Hmm.
and it checks all the boxes on powerful things that you want to be doing in modern.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. I mean, I like its play patterns. I think this is doing kind of what I wanted Grixis to be doing for a while. Right, like Esper Charm is kind of fulfilling the like making them discard role. But it's just got better tools. Like Grixis could play Damnation, but fun fact, we have a friend that plays a lot of Merfolk, and like, boy, the difference between being able to be countered and not, like,
oh
does
yeah,
matter. um, yeah. Also, more realistically, there are blue-white Stonebait players out there, and that makes it matter as well too. But then also just getting access to things like if I wanted Path to answer bigger things, because Grixis can struggle with that for 1 mana. And then obviously, like the biggest one I think is really Teferi. Like 5 mana Teferi just outclasses anything that Grixis can do, right? Like,
yeah. The closest thing is Omnixilus, and even
well,
that's just so much further below.
probably Bolus, right? There's a 5 mana Bolus is probably the closest comparison, but like
Is there 5 mana bonus?
there is, yeah. It's
Okay.
blue, triple black, red. Don't test me on my Grixis planeswalkers. I got that down. Yeah, 5 mana Bolus does plus to 2 for 1 them in a way, where you get to draw and then they sack or discard a card. Um, but not being able to untap your lands matters a lot in a control deck, obviously. I think overall, I really like the deck. We'll have to see if we can have some more solid runs in the future. So, thanks for hanging out and watching. Feel free
Oh,
to stay along and hopefully find some more awesome videos on the channel.